This is my Gpad. It's the G10 aluminum case version, the 4 gig model. My SKU is 10018. It's the green case version of the Gpad, and I believe all of the SKUs that Panda Will sells that are SKU 10016 to 10022 are the 4 gig newer versions. So when I first got it, I went through the setup process, and when I went to the market, I was able to download a couple apps. Everything seemed to be working fine. The setup was rather easy. But about 3-4 hours later, I went to log in and download an app at the market, and it would not work anymore. My apps would stall, and so I was struggling with how to get the market back up. Noticed out online several people have had that problem, so I'm hoping that this will help tell you what I did. I'm not sure that this is the solution for everyone, but this is what worked for me. So initially, the firmware version that came with this, again, was the 2.1 update 1, and the build number was 2.6.29, and it was firmware version number 225. So after doing the setup and having the market fail on me, I believe I went into the privacy settings of the settings, and I did a factory reset. And after doing the factory reset, I tried to go through the settings again, and sure enough, I was able to download apps again. But after a few hours, I lost my contact with the market again, and so I was getting very frustrated. So I came to the conclusion that my firmware was not set up correctly from the manufacturer. So I went out and I downloaded the firmware that came on the device, the same firmware, which was the number 225, and I reinstalled that. Now, for some reason, I just decided to set up a new Gmail account at the same time after flashing the device. And the reason for that is when I was researching, I did see a few articles that said that if you had a phone or if you had a previous Gmail account, that it gets confused when it tries to push apps out to because it's trying to push apps to your phone and not to the market, or to your G10. I wasn't sure if that was my problem, but I just went ahead and decided to set up a new Gmail account, and at the same time, I had already reflashed the device, so at this point I wasn't clear whether or not it was reflashing the device or setting up a new Gmail account. But afterwards, I had no problem it's been 2.5, maybe 3 weeks since I reflashed the device, and I haven't had any problems. And you can see back in my device settings, I've gone ahead and updated to the newer firmware as well. So now I have the kernel version 2.6.29, number 301. I have the style flying. It's the firmware 2.1 update 1. So let's go ahead and just show you again. Today's October 31st. I got this device about 3 weeks ago, and if I go to the market and I need to make sure my signal from my Wi-Fi, one thing I'm disappointed in is that the Wi-Fi range on these items is only about 25, what I think is about 25 feet. So you can see that I have several apps installed. So I'm just going to go ahead and download MySpace Mobile, install it, say OK, and we'll click on, and we'll see how the download's going on that. And you can see the file download has been detected. and you'll see it starting to download, and we'll see the bar start to scroll over. And so and again, so I've been very lucky in that for about 3 weeks now I've had no problems accessing the market. And I honestly believe that setting up the new Gmail account rather than using my old Gmail account is what solved my problem. I don't know that that's really the solution. It could have been the firmware and reflashing the firmware, but both of those items together may have been the solution. But again, I'm having no problems downloading apps from the market since then, and so I would recommend, if you are having problems, that you first go through the firmware reinstallation, and then if you try using your old Gmail account and you run into that problem again, then I would recommend that you go ahead and you set up a new Gmail account, especially again if you have an Android phone. That was one of the things that the websites that I looked at stated, that Google gets confused on where to forward the apps to. Evidently, it knows the device that it's downloading to. Okay, so this is almost done, and successful download, and so and let's let it finish installing it. And after, you'll see I've got probably 35 or 40 apps. So if I go back to my menu, and you can see I've got a lot of apps now that I've installed. And so good luck. I hope that helps. If you have, again, a Gmail account, you may want to consider setting up a new one. All right, bye.